What's up anime fans, today's video I'm gonna recommend you the most interesting titles I picked for this spring season. The season will kick off with Attack on Titan, which will be undoubtedly one of the strongest shows airing. So without further ado, I must start with a quick montage of spring season anime that have their second or later seasons than the rest of the new shows. Gabimaru is set up by his fellow ninja and now is on death row. He tries several methods to kill himself but fails. He does have a reason to live and wants to return to his wife, who was the reason he couldn't be an effective assassin. I am a huge fan of KonoSuba. As a matter of fact, it's one of the best isekai comedy anime out there. Although this is a spin-off series, it focuses on Megami and her friend Union, where you get more insight of their side of the story before they met the main group. I hope that it lives up to the quality of the original. Goro Amemiya, a gynecologist, is tasked with delivering the child of Ai Hoshino, a Japanese idol whom he admired. Ai was pregnant and wanted to keep it private from her fans. She travels to the countryside because of it. Goro later is murdered by an unknown man. After he awakens, he finds himself in the arms of his beloved idol as one of the twins. Within the safety of the walls, youths are raised in a nursery style setting by robots. While life there may appear stale on the surface, the children are full of potential and curiosity. In many ways, it is like a slice of heaven. The outside world is a hellscape. It is almost entirely void of anything mechanical and is now inhabited by bizarre yet powerful supernatural beings. Maru, with the aid of Kiriko, is out there crisscrossing what was once Tokyo for heaven. But after searching for so long, maybe heaven is more of an untenable dream than a potential reality. Mashburn is a young man with no magical ability living in a world where such powers are commonplace. He spends every day training his body, building muscles to compete with magic itself. However, upon having his identity exposed and his peaceful life threatened, Mash begins his journey to become a divine visionary, a role so powerful that society would have no choice but to accept his existence. Tenjo Yuya is brutally bullied in the past. One day he takes an extended absence from school so that his wounds heal. He takes the opportunity to clean his grandfather's house and enters a room he never went to before. While arranging objects, he finds a door among them that takes him into another world. So basically he's up and he will dominate both worlds. After her boyfriend cheats on her with another girl he met in game, Akane Kinoshita learns the hard way that gamer boyfriends can be just as bad as the offline variety. As she vents her anger by beating mob monsters to a pulp, she has a chance encounter with Akito Yamada, a guildmate with an afro and no mask. Grumpy Insomniac Ganta Nakami stumbles across the moderately rebellious yet easygoing Isaki Magari in the Astronomy Club's abandoned observatory. Magari is jolted away and tries to escape from the scene, only to have a broken door prevent that, forcing the two inside. The two forge an unlikely friendship, leading them to use the observatory as a safe space for them to interact. Ever since their father died, Ichiro Kuga has struggled to support his two younger siblings on nothing but a small inheritance and his passion for drawing manga. Just as he's nearing his breaking point, a new assistant pops into Ichiro's life. She's beautiful and an amazing artist that makes his prospects immediately starts to brighten. Tetsuo Tosu is a salaryman. After the discovery of the physical abuse inflicted on his daughter Reika by her boyfriend Matori Nobuto and his schemes to extort money from her grandparents with a history of murder, he kills him with the help of his wife Kassen and successfully disposes of the boyfriend's body. They work together to ensure the safety of their daughter and also prevent her from getting involved further in this mess. Hime Shiraki is a high school girl who deeply cares about her image as a sweet, helpful princess, but on the inside only cares about herself. So, when she accidentally injures a cafe manager named Mai Mikoshiba, she's willing to cover some shifts to keep her facade intact. 3 years ago, a hero sealed a hellgate, but the seal has been weakening ever since. occasionally letting monsters through. After causing the local hero's death, Toka Scott, a small radish farmer in the southern town of Shiza, is forced to take matters into his own hands to protect the region from attacking monsters. After a fight to the death with the Calamity Crusher, the corpse god, a necromancer without peer, reincarnates as Porka Shinoyama in early 21st century Japan's Shinjuku world. All this and more stands in the corpse god's way, but he is determined to achieve the peaceful life he so desires against all costs. No matter what it takes or how long it takes, he will have his peace. Excellent student Iwakura Mitsumi has always dreamt about leaving her small town, going to a prestigious university and making positive change in the world. But she's so focused on reaching her goals that she's not prepared for the very different and overwhelming city life that awaits her in a Tokyo high school. Luckily, she makes fast friends with Shima Sosuke, a handsome classmate who's as laid back as she is overprepared. 100 years ago, there was a great war between humanity and beastkind. Once the war ended, an annual tradition was proposed where a female sacrifice would be taken from the humans to be eaten by the king of beasts. This tradition continues as the 99th sacrifice, 15-year-old Sarifi, is taken from her village to the kingdom of Osmargo, a miasma-filled realm where beasts live and human entry is forbidden. Hajime Aono used to live for the sound of his violin playing. Ever since he was young, he had admired his world-renowned violinist father, who inspired him to pick up the instrument himself. But following his parents' bitter divorce, Aono swears to never play again and heads for high school without a direction or a prospect. Asahi Ikusaba is a high school student who got lost and ended up in another world. He has knowledge of video games and fantasy worlds, but he is weak and does not have any cheat abilities. He finds his older sister Mayu in the other world, which has the strongest cheat ability and also has a brother complex. When Hayato's grandmother passed, he decides to close her struggling cafe familia. There he discovers that 5 young women have been working at the cafe. And after seeing their struggles and learning of their bond with his grandmother, he decides to reopen the cafe. It's a new original anime, a story of a magical girl and an otaku set in Akihabara in the year 2011, in a world where 2D content is prohibited. The characters looks interesting after seeing the trailer, and I hope it's as good as it looks. So this was my recommendations for this spring season 2023. Hope you have fun watching these selected animes. That's it for now. See you anime fans on the next video here on COCKTAILANI, and as always, take care.